is currently 7:10 a.m. Welcome to Mexico, guys. Hi guys, I'm Madison Mary and welcome back to my channel. Today I have Vlogmas week 4 for you guys. So if you guys can't tell, I'm somewhere different. I am in Mexico. So that means this week's vlog for Christmas is going to be here and I'm really excited. I have already finished one book technically because I didn't sleep last night. Just finished a new romance, a smut technically, but like wasn't that much. Like I have a lot to say about this book. It's called Command Me and I'll put like a little picture of it up right here. And it's about this girl who is graduating from Oxford, and at this party she like sees this guy and starts talking to him, and then he sees this chick that like he's trying to avoid, so he like makes out with her out of nowhere, and then they like part their ways and she doesn't think much of it. And then a week later the tabloids set in England have her and this guy kissing on the front page. It turns out that he is the Crown Prince of England, and she's like, bruh, what? And her friend's like, dude, how'd you not know? And she's like, well, I have been sitting my butt off these last couple of months, and he literally just got back from doing his tour in Afghanistan, so how was I supposed to know what he looked like anymore? And so it is about them. Like there are triggers in it. There's triggers for car accidents, triggers for loss of a loved one, PTSD, and eating disorders. The eating disorder app is probably what I wanted to talk about most, but my family's about to leave for, it's 9 in the morning. We're about to go out to breakfast, so I'm going to talk about that later, mostly because I'm still kind of compartmentalizing my feelings. I'm still not 100% sure what I felt about this. I know it's not a 5-star read, and the biggest reason for that is just because during a lot of the sexy, like smutty scenes, whenever he was like hitting on her, he would call her puppet sometimes, which I'm not okay with. That really weirds me out, and it really took me out of like a lot of the steamy sexy scenes. Like in the beginning he didn't call her that and I was like really into them, and then from like the midway point onwards he like would always freaking call her puppet, and it was like I was like, no, this is a no, I don't like this. So that really ruined the smut for me, so I like took off an entire star for that. So it's max a 4-star read, and now I'm just trying to decide how I feel about the representation of eating disorders in it before I decide if it's going to be like a 3-star or not. So yeah, I'll let you guys know. And then on Sunday, on my airplane ride to Mexico, for like a small part of it, I read a MMF, a male-female romance smut. It was like, I think 80 to like 100 pages. Oh my God, it was amazing. 5 to 5 stars. Like this is what it is, I forget what it's called. I just went ahead and bought the second book in the series because the second book is not for free. The first book is free. My hand's getting tired. Amazing. You don't need to know too much about it, but it's about this girl who, for her 23rd birthday, her friend makes her go out, gets there, catches the attention of these 2 guys in the VIP lounge. I don't tell you more because it's kind of interesting how it all comes together, but I'm really excited for the second book. So I don't know what I'm gonna start reading today though. We'll see. Bye. Happy Christmas Eve. So I didn't really update you guys at all yesterday because, like I told you guys, I didn't get any sleep, so I was sleeping all day yesterday and also in a really bad mood because cranky no sleep me. I am like 8% into Not the Girl You Marry. I'm not totally vibing with it just yet, so I'm gonna keep on reading it today. But yes, that's all for now. Goodbye. You did before. I can find my way to come back home. I can stop to remember. Hey, so I'm running low on time because we are about to leave for the the party that I told you guys about this morning, but The reason is because I just finished Not the Girl You Marry, and crap, I loved it. What? I was really hesitant going into it because a lot of people that like I trust don't like it. A popular complaint that I heard was, especially from people who love How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, the people who loved that movie didn't like the book. And it's been like maybe 10 years since I've seen that movie, so I wasn't comparing it to anything. Like, I don't know, I was a bit iffy in the beginning, but by around the 30% mark, it was just so freaking hilarious. The humor in this book is 10,000% my kind of humor, and I just related so much to the main character in that sense. It was a very quick and easy read. I didn't expect to get through it so quickly. I also really hope that there are more books following like their friends. So Hannah has her best friend Sasha, and also there is Jack's younger sister Bridget, and I really hope we all have their point of views. But I really have to go now, so I'll talk more about this later. Thinking maybe 4 out of 5 stars currently, and yeah.
Maybe I should surrender. Forget it, oh baby, it's time that I let you go. Baby, it's time that
So it's the day after Christmas. I'm like about to head out to the pool. Thought that I would quickly come in here right now, give you guys like a little bit of an update. As you guys know, I finished Not the Girl You Marry. I actually ended up really enjoying it, which surprised me. I then read a box set of 2 novellas yesterday called I Kissed the Boss. I didn't even know it was a box set, so I read the first one not knowing what I was even getting into. And then the second one I enjoyed, but I do want to mention that it has a trigger for miscarriage in it, and it's like a really big part of it. There were 2 cute, quick Christmas novellas. So, the first one was this girl planning a Christmas office party for her ex from 5 years ago. Her ex from 5 years ago dumped her because his dad gave him an ultimatum: you can either stay with this girl or you will lose your inheritance, and he chose his inheritance, and that's what it's about. But I'm now 10% into Black Jacket Brotherhood Dark Lover Book 1. In the beginning there was a glossary of terms, which I thought was very helpful to kind of read the glossary before you read the book. I think it actually is kind of smart to have the glossary at the front, so that way the people do read it before they read the book, so that they understand what's going on better. And I was warned beforehand, in the beginning there is an attempted sexual assault. Our main character, she is 25, and the guy is a bajillion-year-old vampire. I don't know how old he is. His name is Wrath. He is like the last pure blood vampire. He's supposed to actually become king, but doesn't want to. And then our girl, I think her name is Beth. She's technically a half-blood. She's half vampire. Her dad was one of Wrath's inner circle. From what I can tell, what happens is there's this thing called like the transition when you hit like 25, and when that happens, you either succeed and you become a vampire fully, or you die. However, because she's a half-blood, she either will go through the turning and become a vampire, or she won't go through it and just become a total human, which is kind of interesting. That's all I have to say to up to you guys currently, and yeah, catch you guys later. Bye. Okay, brother of mine, what are you currently reading?
I am reading Blood Song. It's the first book in a Raven Shadow series.
You already finished *ɪḻsᴛᴜ?
Yeah, I finished it basically.
Did you like *ɪḻsᴜᴜ?
It was a very good book actually. I thought it captured like the dichotomy between the 3 characters very well, and I like how the stories all intertwined together.
What was the book you were reading on the airplane that you did not like?
Gosh, that was ᴇᴍᴅ.
And you got like, what, 30% into it and you said it was just boring?
I got 57% of it.
You got over halfway.
Yeah, and it just wasn't picking up. It's a very slow-paced book compared to the previous one. I took a lot of time off between the two books, so perhaps that made it a little bit more of a bore to get through. But it wasn't too bad.
Blood Song, Anthony Ryan. What's it about?
It's about a warrior who is raised in a sort of like battle monastery type thing. Gets raised to fight for the sole purpose of fighting. And as he goes through it, he faces like a lot of conflict with like his father abandoning him, as well as all the same conflicts that his group within the school all face. And it's about like kind of him getting through that. So I'm really 30% through it right now. I know towards the end the story's told like through like a flashback. Which you kind of get like in the first like little chapter of the book. It talks about like it's all told from like the perspective of the main character, like way in the future, after he's like graduated and gone through all the battles and stuff.
Thanks, Ethan.
No worries.
Hello, Father dearest. What are you currently reading?
I'm reading The Golden Key. It's about the magic of painting.
What?
So there are three families, one that rules the empire, one in which is the Serranos, who are a family that know that they're not as talented, but also know that they want power, and the ɪṛsᴛᴜ, who are a mixed breed, and through their intermarriage with another population, inherited a gift that anything that they paint becomes true. So that if they paint a true portrait or a true scene,
Like a battle?
then by adjusting it, they can adjust the outcome.
That's actually interesting.
Yeah.
I love It's hilarious. There's this scene, okay? I think I mentioned before that in the Black Joker Brotherhood, we follow Wrath, and then he has 5 brothers, like brothers, and not really brothers. And one of them's Rage, and Rage, like, I don't know, I'm kind of confused. Like, I don't really understand how it works yet. Like, all the brothers have, like, a talent, I guess. Zadist, he, I think, like, if he touches someone, like, he can't touch people. Like, he has to wear a glove or something. And, like, he's apparently, like, almost soulless. I don't know what that means. But then we have Rage, okay? And Rage is all, like, we don't know him very well yet. He has a nickname, Hollywood, because he's, like, sleeps with all the ladies. But anyway, he just, like, apparently he can turn into, like, a creature or something. Anyway, he just ate 5 people. Bad people, like, evil things. And they're back, okay? And Beth is there. And she sees him. And, like, I forget, like, who was it? Rage is like, I feel sick. And then Wrath is like, yeah, indigestion's a bitch. And Beth goes, do you want some Tums or Alka-Seltzer? like a Pepsi's gonna help with having eaten 5 people. I don't know why I find this so hilarious, but I do. I don't know if I explained this earlier, but I'll explain it now. So in this world, there's like this other like ethereal land, like other world, like mid-place. And in this place there is the Sacred Virgin and the Omega. And the Sacred Virgin used her powers to create the vampire race. And the Omega was jealous of this. And so what he did was he took humans and found humans who would give up their souls in order to be immortal, and he would use them to hunt down vampires, like basically vampire hunters, and they're called ɪṛsᴜᴜ. And they're identifiable because apparently they smell like baby powder, which is like, I don't know, but they're like alabaster, like fully white eyes, body, hair, like everything about them. We're still waiting for Beth to go through the transition, and we're 60% in the book. I thought she would have gone through the transition by now. So I wonder if she even goes through it like in this book, or maybe that's how this book ends, is her going through her transition. Because she's a half-blood, so it's like either she will or she won't. And she definitely is. So now it's like, will she survive it or not? And clearly she's going to survive it. This is a 12-book series, so like, spoiler. But really interested. I'm actually enjoying it a lot so far. Also, I'm currently at 90 books read for 2019. That's just novels and novellas, not and audiobooks. But yeah, bye.
Baby, I should surrender. Forget it, oh baby, it's time that I let you go. Baby, it's time that
Hi, happy Saturday. Gotta get my hair tied quickly. 5:40 p.m. I'm just getting more and more tired as each of the days goes on. But yesterday I went to the cenotes and I actually have some footage that you guys would have seen. It was a really long day. We left at like 8 in the morning, didn't get back until 3:30, 4. But it was like bike riding, abseiling, dry caves, wet caves. It was really awesome. Like I had a lot of fun. I read like a little bit, but honestly, I was just so tired. I like napped and then woke up as like at the time my parents went up to my door and were like ready for dinner, and I was like, dinner? And I got home and like I didn't even read last night. Like I just went to bed. However, this morning I finished Dark Lover Black Dagger Brotherhood book 1. Awesome. I actually ended up really loving it. I don't think it's a 5 stars. I give it a 4 stars on Goodreads as of now. I think my biggest issue with it was pacing, because we were following so many different people. Like you would go back and forth between Mr. X, Wrath, Butch, Beth. Sometimes you would see Marissa or Havers. Like there was just so many different characters that like sometimes you'd have like 2 pages of like a glimpse of what they're doing. That's the only thing that I probably had like any sort of an issue with personally. I still want to know more about the Omega and the Scribe Virgin, especially since the Scribe Virgin made a sort of a deal in this book. Because I don't know if I really trust the Scribe Virgin yet. She seems like a kind of tricky lady. You know, she's supposed to be the good guy compared to the Omega, but So yeah, and then I started Punk 57, which is for the Kindle Unlimited Readathon. Since the Kindle Unlimited Readathon started yesterday, I was like, okay, I'll start a Kindle Unlimited book next. And I was like looking through the ones I had, and I was like, oh, Punk 57, like I really wanted to read that because it's one of Chandler's favorites. I'm like, how far am I? Tell me, Kindle. 48% through it. And I don't love it. I don't know if it's just because I haven't read a book set in high school in forever. I've read characters that are like 17, 18 years old, but in like fantasy settings where there's, you know, fantasy settings. But I guess that all the romances I've been reading lately have been set so much later on that I'm just not used to reading books about high schoolers, and so it's really taking me back. And there's some aspect of this that is a bit of like a bully romance, which I haven't really tried out before, so it's a new territory for me. Overall, this book's a lot of a new territory for me, and I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about it. But it's been like a bit of an effort to get through, which kind of shocks me. Also, I'm really sorry if you can hear like raving club music in the background. There is legitimately a rooftop bar that I can see on the next hotel over. I'm like not even kidding you. Bye. Hey, so it is Sunday night. Technically it is now Monday morning. It's 12:45 in the morning. I finished Punk 57 this morning. I will say that I definitely enjoyed the back half more than the beginning half, but I think my biggest issue with it is the fact that it starts off a lot like I've never read one before, but I've seen the term a lot, high school bully romance. And even though like Misha isn't like supposed to be a bully, it's a very complex relationship that Misha and Ryan have with each other. And so it's very difficult to try and explain it, and it's difficult to really get on board with because of the way that they treat each other throughout the book. Like, because the entire time Misha is lying to Ryan about who he really is, and just the way they interact, like, it just makes me not feel for them as much as I really would have wanted to. I will admit there is a very steamy car sex scene, which is great. The bully romance part of it in the beginning with like them just being so, like him being so awful to her. And like, I get it, like her whole school persona was this like popular bitchy mean girl thing, and yeah, that was shitty. And the friends around her and this like guy around her, her boyfriend at the time, but not really a boyfriend, his name was Trey. And she constantly says throughout the book, I can't say no to him because if I say no to him flat out, he will just try and take it from me. But if I say yes, I'll just be branded as everyone else. So she's like, I have to just keep him wanting it without giving him anything. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, it was just, ugh, some of the characters in this were just so like mentally just yucky. Like I was just like, ew. This was just a book rife with bully romance, slut shaming, homophobic slurs, just sexual assault. There's all these different things mentioned in here that are just awful. I will admit, I did not see that twist at the end coming. Like the reason why Misha came to Falcon's Well, did not see that coming, and I was like, oh damn. So I gotta give props to that. Then I read a MMF novel, it was like 200 pages, called Sizzle from Kindle Unlimited also, and it was interesting. So it's about this restaurant owner, this guy's name is Elliot, and his restaurant is about to go under. He's been late on his rent payments and he has 6 weeks to pay it back fully. Elliot lives in his best friend Alex's house. Alex mentions like, you know, why don't you try and like reinvent your menu a bit? Like you are an American comfort food restaurant, but you know, society's trying to be a bit more healthy, so why don't you add 1 or 2 healthier things to the menu? They get the help of this online food blogger named Joelle, and she comes in to help. And obviously like she's attracted to Elliot and she's attracted to Alex, and Alex is bi, and you learn that early on that Alex is bi. But Elliot is not. As the book goes on, you see that he's like, maybe I'm attracted to Alex, but then what does that mean? I can't be gay. I'm 33. How could I have gone all my life without ever being attracted to a man? Why am I suddenly attracted to my best friend? What does this mean? He is a guy. He has an appendage on his nether regions. And I don't know, I'm not a man, I'm not a gay man, nor am I a bisexual man, so I can't really speak to this representation. But something about it still just didn't sit right with me, because he was constantly having to justify like, oh, maybe I'm just attracted to him because it's us plus this like hot chick. I don't know, something about that just was like, I gave it a 3, mostly because I think that there was the underlying storyline of him coming to terms with his sexuality, which I enjoyed. But yeah, so that was that. Yeah, that's all I really want to say for now. And that's all I have to say for this vlog. I'm still got 1 more full day here in Mexico, so that will be more so in next week's vlog. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button down below if you want to see more of me. Please subscribe to my channel, and until next time, thanks a bunch guys. Bye!